Hello jammy gamers, welcome to another Wildlands video. This time we're winding back the clock, yeah sure, going back to Wildlands, check out the Breakpoint videos, and we're also moving on to Arma in the very near future. But join the Discord, like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. We'll jump in, covering off the stuff that we knew from last time, and building on that solid foundation to continuously improve the way we're working and bossing Wildlands. Now camo, first and foremost, does it work? I know we covered it before, but no, it doesn't work. Now there are some videos that seem to show ghillies extending the time it detects, but really I've covered this in another video. Go check that out. Camos don't work. Now how do you unlock El Sueño? You don't need to unlock the entire map. You don't need to kill all the bosses. Just doing 2 wings will unlock the big boss. If you're just going to try to speedrun, that's what you need to do. 2 out of 4 of the wings. Go check it out. Go get it done. Number 3, go for the blues first. So in your intel, it's going to be dotted around the map in various different forms. Go for the blue first, right? So your skill points, weapons, perk medals, that's going to improve your character, the skills, the way that you play, and then go grab the green stuff after. Now for 4, what skills to go for? Yes, there's a whole load of personal choice, right? But there are some that are really handy to grab nice and early. Now for the weapons, you got the underbarrel grenade launcher for helos and vehicles, but also vehicle damage, you know, try and grab that second. It will help you out in your gameplay. For drones, you got the battery and the range. They're almost like a must. Grab those, it will help your gameplay. Items, so really make sure you use all of your items. I really underutilized them, but actually the parachute probably needs to come first to save you from those helicopters getting chopped down. Mines, but then flashbangs. Like I say, really underutilized a lot of these. We'll cover that off a bit later, but make sure you unlock these ones maybe early on and then go from there. And then the physical stuff, stamina, just a no-brainer, right? You'll be able to run faster for longer rather than just walking around the map, but then quietly running as well once you get to that stage. Grab the detection as well. Super key when we're looking at stealth, things like that. Your stealth infills, just so powerful and really a must grab. And then the squad stuff, I mean, it's entirely up to you. I put that right on the back burner, particularly on the co-op playthrough, but an extra sync shot is really important and really useful in single player. Revive speed for co-op, really good as well. Now farming convoys, let's just throw the clip up here, but you want to go to Kwani, so Kwani Delta and Kwani Bravo in particular, this is what the clip's from, but you want to be spotting the convoy. If you've got the HUD up, it's even easier, but spot the convoy, sync shot the drivers, blow the first car with an explosive drone, and then just clean up. You know, it is really quite easy, quite simple. It is a little bit cheaty, but you know, you can do this across the map in various different levels. It's just that Kwani Bravo is just extra easy. Now, mines can be messy, so can C4. In this example, we blew the mines, blew the C4, and just caught the resource truck in the crossfire. It still gives you some resources, but not in full. And then you got another example there. Same again. Do them how you want to do them. But, you know, there are slightly better ways of going ahead with it. And just find your rhythm and then farm them at your leisure. Now, the weapon stats don't really mean anything. Unfortunately, that's just how they built the game in. The one that maybe is slightly more relevant would be stealth. But, you know, stats are relevant to the class. So the stats are compared to other ARs, not ARV snipers. Stats are too close to really matter. Just ignore them. But noise reduction, you know, that's again, they're going to be the one that's going to matter the most. Now, the smaller the caliber, quieter it is. Stats are too close to really matter, but rounds do make a difference. So double check what mags you're putting in, and the stats, so the noise comparison, sniper vs pistol, we'll go over the stats in a minute. Now the caliber size is often in the mag description, so that can sort of point you towards which guns are more powerful. DMRs are not separated, but look at the damage to have a little guess. Accuracy is bullet grouping, handling is recoil. Now you sort of know a little bit more about the stats. But let's keep going on the stats, right? Now, if we're looking at the noise that guns make, if you want to go unsuppressed, you got to go around the 150 meter mark. That's pretty safe for all weapon classes. If we look at it more carefully, unsuppressed snipers are around 130 meters, silenced they're about 49, assault rifles 94 to 34, SMG 60 to 23, and handguns 48 to 18. I'm not going to cover LMGs and shotguns, sorry. I just want to go over the caliber sizes again for each class. Usually they have 2, and that will result in different damage outputs. Okay, so if you're looking for damage, the stats don't mean particularly much, but have a look at that and you'll get more damage out of your rifles. Now, the starter guns are good. That is an unsung hero, really, some of those early guns, particularly the Ghost Recon Future Soldier ACR, which is a free Ubisoft unlock. So go jump in the store and grab the free stuff. It's got loads of attachments, really handy early on for you. Give them a go, trust them. You can carry them to late game if you really want. Now, number 8 would be to lure them out. So we want to try to lure out the enemies, and we can have them play our game. And now you can just lure with visuals like I'm doing there. You can do audio lures, so things like kicking over buckets or running around. You can use the detection lure, the item, or flares for grouping. Flares in particular are underutilized, but you can lure out huge swathes of enemies to a very tight-knit area. Drop a mortar on them from the rebels, or just take them out far easier. Now, beating Unidad. Now, Unidad are a right pain. Now, same as other base infills, make sure you get the radio towers, things like that, to stop reinforcements coming in. But otherwise, you're going to have to knuckle in for a 30-minute gunfight, which you're unlikely to win, and can beat away Unidad, but otherwise, move well out of the area, out of sight. Just run away. That's the best way, you know, if you're going to go full-on fight with all these reinforcements, just get out of there. And then, you know, if you are going to come back to the area, make sure that you've left enough time for the reinforcements to despawn, because they can still be floating around, and you'll just fall into that vicious circle. Now, the best weapons were covered in a separate video series, so go check them out. It covers assault rifles, snipers, SMGs, and all the other good things. There's also the best weapons of all categories with some nice weapons stats, so go check out those videos. I'll just flash up a couple on the screen. Now, let's expand onto some more tips. Now, you might notice in the right-hand side, some of the gameplay I've got does or doesn't have the map. That's up to you, but if we do use the map, that's going to be the game's stealth indicator. Now, different games have different indicators, right? Just something that you need to learn and get use of to really take advantage of this game mechanic. Now, let's go through the different ones. Now, if it's completely clear map, it's the all clear. If it's grey, it's suspected. If it's amber, it's going to be hunted or some sort of alert. And then red, you're engaged. You're actually in the fight. Now, it's good to note that this isn't your whole team's. It's not your AI's radar. It's yours. Now, again, orange goes to orange. So if there's a direct threat or shot heard, you'll go into the hunted banner. And looking at AI companions, so you can absolutely use your AI teammates, use the rebels as well to actually fight for you. Okay, so you can hide in the bush or on the hillside, you know, and use these rebels. Use your AI companions to just do your fighting for you. You don't need to get involved. But use the guns for hire, use that rebel support, all that sort of good stuff. Release the prisoners, and they'll do the fighting for you. They'll get into trouble. They'll cause a ruckus, and you can just go off scot-free. Now, here we've got the sync shots. It is going to be different for co-op, but use your sync shot. It's a fantastic tip. That's what the AI companions can do as well. Really, really powerful, really, really convenient, as long as you don't think it's too cheaty. Now, looking at drones, we'll just flash up here the 5 Ps. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Really important, really key, really fantastic to use. Now, we've used the drone here to use the 5 Ps. We understand there's only 3 guys at this checkpoint, and we're going to come through the bushes, and we'll go over the in-game tip that even tells you to sneak up nice and close and take out these adversaries. It's the right thing to do. And here again, we can utilize our sync shot from the last tip, and then flash up this screenshot where it actually tells you to jump in bushes, big or small. You're going to remain stealthy. It's going to really enhance that stealth boost. Now, whilst we're here, let's just nail these guys. Now, the distance from target is really interesting. Now, I covered it in a separate video. Like I said before, the link's going to be in the description. But we can get really close in broad daylight. Now, this guy, 50-odd meters, that's going to be standing, and he's spotted us. This is on extreme difficulty with max skills, by the way. Now, here, we're crouching. We proc to them. They've made a couple of steps forward. So, you know, 41, 42 meters is going to be a crouching proc. Okay? That sort of distance thereabouts. And then we can really start taking the mick and get right up in the enemy's face. Remember, this is broad daylight, extreme difficulty. Yes, I got max skills on, but you can get really, really close to these guys before they actually detect you. And whizzing back here, just to double check that prone, doesn't matter if it's day or night, it's going to be flashing up very, very similar sort of numbers, okay? But you know, same old, attack during the night time. Right here, right now, attacking at night, it's the best thing to do. A lot of the AI is actually going to be asleep. It's going to help out tremendously, so definitely attack at night. However, you're going to have to get used to using night vision. Using thermal is also fantastic for scouting at night time. Okay, but just to shout out, enemies are going to be asleep. Lasers can be used in co-op for comms, and they're just fantastic if you're doing no HUD. You're going to have to use them. Just remember, main missions might be immune to sleep, okay? So if you are doing actual missions at nighttime or in the day, are usually preset to do certain things at certain times, so it's a good consideration to have. Now looking at the skills for stealth specifically, we went over some before. However, these stealth skills, we're going to be wanting to make sure you max out detection as much as you can. You can go grab the medal as well that you can see down the bottom there. But also, you're going to have to look for that quieter running as well, okay? Now, quieter running is another fantastic one, but it's one that you want to use in tandem with detection and make sure you max out to improve your stealth skills. Now, this one, it might be easy, but, you know, just don't miss your shots. Here, I took out that guy, didn't miss a shot, and all of those guys didn't care. But I missed a couple of shots here, and now they're all procced. Okay, direct threat in the bottom right-hand corner, my map's gone amber, and it's just not a good time. Here, we'll just demonstrate that again. That guy heard, and now he's going to come hunting for me. But what can you do about that? What can you do if you are heard? You know, can we go back and use another skill or another tip that we've already learnt to actually utilize on a missed shot? I mean, yeah, we can just stay and fight. Yeah, it's easier on lower difficulties. You can almost just John Wick the whole thing. Let's just take out alarms, right? Take out alarms, which means no helos, no reinforcements. That's going to be your bread and butter. You should be trying to do that. Otherwise, move away and lay low, okay? You can get back out, you can go back into bushes, improve your stealth stat, you know, escape. But enemies will go to where you were last spotted or where the last round was fired. And that's a really interesting mechanic that we can use when we have a look at maybe planting mines or C4s for those really nice ambushes. Now, if you don't shoot the guy you're trying to lure through for your video, you can make noise, you can shoot walls, you can, you know, do something to detect the enemy or get hunted, lure them into a big trap, and then suddenly, bang, off it goes. Job's a good one. See you later, Mr. Enemy. Let's have a look at roads. Now, when we're talking about stealth, but also tips in general, roads are really an absolute bane for me. You can be minding your own business. You can be taking out guards, patrols, things like that willy-nilly. And suddenly, you need to roll up on you and just muller you. It is so frustrating, but roads are really something to be aware of. And if you can, make sure you're infilling on the same side of the road as the objective, or just pray that there's no sort of patrol that swings by your way. Mines, I showed you it last tip, but mines and C4 can be really handy. Just make sure with mines, you're being wary of those civilian kills. We've also got a few more to go through. So things like jammers. Jammers are a right pain. They're going to wipe out your drone. They're going to prevent using the 5Ps for base infilling. Use your big guns or maybe rebel mortar strikes to take them out if you can't infill and take them out by hand, up close and personal. Things like the flashbangs we haven't discussed specifically, but flashbangs, flare guns, all those different equipments, just play around with them. Be brave. Use them. Don't be afraid to die and learn, okay? But all of the equipment really are actually serve a purpose and can actually really benefit you and your gameplay for a more successful playthrough. Using your drone against the helicopters, sometimes when you smash them into the rotary blades at the top, it can down helicopters. Otherwise, use your explosive drones to just wipe out enemy vehicles, easy peasy lemon squeezy. You can find more cosmetics or even named weapons, the unique signature weapons, in crates. Now the crates can be used and obtained with real money, that's up to you. But otherwise, if you complete the daily missions, it feeds back into these orange tokens which you can use to do the crates. If you get doubles of some of those consumables, they get converted very, very slowly into very, very small amounts of blue tokens, which are your real money currency. Past level 30, you can unlock tier mode. It does get a lot harder the higher you go from tier 50 to tier 1. However, you get some, you know, cosmetic unlocks which give or take, but other fantastic weapons every 5 tiers, like the HTI Desert Tech, which is just incredible show-stopping sniper rifle. And a cool little tidbit is that there are in-game stats as well to compare to your friends. You know, so go on Reddit, tag it in the Discord server, which I'll mention in a second. All that sort of good stuff to sort of monitor your progress and your performance. So the last tips I'm not going to write down, but like, comment, subscribe, all that good YouTuber stuff. It really does help out the channel. I do really appreciate it. I try to reply to every single comment. And if you're feeling fruity, join the Discord. So there'll be the link in the description as well in the comments below. But join up, try to squad up. That's what we're trying to build a community for. Share tips, tricks, advice, all that sort of good stuff. Wildlands, Breakpoint, Arma Reforger, and other games in the future, depending on when you're viewing this video. But thank you very much, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. JJAM Gaming out.